Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Greg with KillerReviews.com, and I thought it would be fun to change things up a bit and take a break from the action movies, the horror movies, the comic book movies, the video game stuff, and get down to some real good nitty-gritty fucking 50 Shades of Grey style, baby. So we're gonna review 50 Shades of Grey. So I'm really excited to talk to you about this movie, and I think you'll be very surprised by some of my thoughts about this movie. So 50 Shades of Grey, obviously, I don't need to tell you guys what it is. It's based off the best-selling novels. Don't even know who they're by, have not read them. I just know it's one of the most purchased or read books in the history of books. Like, I know it's just huge, right? Maybe not that, but I know it's gigantic. Not the guy Schlong in the movie. The book sales, you perverts. Calm down, okay? So, 50 Shades of Grey was directed by Sam Taylor Johnson, Sam being a female. I looked up Sam's previous credits. I didn't recognize any of them. So that's Sam. I don't know. I didn't recognize any of her credits. And it was written by Kelly Marcel, who wrote Saving Mr. Banks. And stars Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan are the two main people. They're the couple. So the film, in case you're a male and don't know what the movie's about, let's see, your average run-of-the-mill girl who works at a hardware store is asked to, or ends up, for reasons that aren't worth explaining, ends up interviewing Mr. Grey, who is I think he's in his mid-20s. He's, I guess, very handsome. He has abs for days, I'll tell you that. And he owns, he's a billionaire, a musician, a piano player. And he falls for this run-of-the-mill girl named Anastasia. And his, Grey's big secret is he's into bondage and treating girls like shit, kind of. No, serious. In all seriousness, he has a fetish for I forget what it's called. Well, S&M first of all, but like dominance, over, you know, like being the dominant. I forget what it's called, but it's like a whole lifestyle, right? Like you pick a girl and you own her, kind of like she's like your slave. I need to get one of these actually. Now that we're talking about this, funny thing is, I've met a few girls dating over the past couple years, and I've met two girls that are into this type of thing. And one girl ended it with me because I wasn't aggressive enough for her. She liked to get spanked all the time and probably whipped. I don't know. Like, and another girl, we went on one day, and then she said, "You know what?" She goes, "This isn't going to work out. I thought I could date a regular guy, but I can't." And then she explained to me how she's into that. She's into this type of thing, and she was looking for a new master. I kid you not. So, yeah, this stuff, I guess, is way more common than I thought it would be. But, yeah, I've been explained to this, in person before what this is like. And, I don't know. Chicks like that. Girls, I'm not using the word chicks anymore. Girls tend to like this type of stuff, I guess. Some of them. So that's what the movie's about. There's, like, Anastasia is not all gung-ho about this dude's, extracurricular activities, you could say. But she loves him very much. So they have like this back and forth love story. So that's kind of what the movie's about. So I'm not going to do my typical Wikipedia thing where I tell you all about the making of the movie and stuff, because I just don't think it's really necessary for this. Like, who really cares about all the different directors that were going to do the movie, who was going to be cast in the movie, or maybe I don't care to research the movie. But I have some pros and cons for you. So, on the positive side, Dakota Johnson, she is, okay, besides being about as hot as girls can get, in my opinion, I don't need these huge fake boobs. I don't need a Kim Kardashian booty, whatever. She is just flat out just sexy. Like, this girl just walking is sexy. I mean, like, she's gorgeous, she's charismatic, and the nudity / sex scenes are a big part of the movie too. Like, he's kind of naked in it, I guess. A lot of shirtless stuff going on. The guy, what's his name? Jamie Dornan. A lot of shirtless scenes. You see his ass in one of the scenes, and like the little tiny tip of the shaft of his penis you see in it. But Dakota Johnson, is just naked a lot in the movie. And we see her nether regions, we see her ass plenty of times in the movie, we see her bent over, we see her tied up, we see her spread eagle. That's a pretty awful term, spread eagle. I don't even know what that means. Like, I know what it means, but like, eagle, like where's the eagle part come in? I don't even know what that means. But we see her on the bed with her legs spread. So, besides being a male and like enjoying looking at her naked for like half the movie, I do think she has a presence to her, which I'm guessing is why she was cast. She has like the girl next door look. It's almost like one of those girls that are much more attractive than they think they are. That in itself is very attractive, and she just fits. I mean, I can see why she was cast. I guess she has this thing about her, and most guys that I've mentioned this to or I've heard talking whatever, they feel the same way about Dakota Johnson. So and you don't need to tell me that she's the daughter of Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson. I know that. Everybody tells me that. So, okay, yeah, so we got that covered. Sex scenes are great. And she's awesome. The character, though, her character in the movie is very good. Like, I went into this movie thinking it was going to be the worst movie I had ever seen made in the history of film. I did not read the books. I didn't even know what they were about. I just knew bondage was in there. And I knew there were millions of girls in the world living lives that they would rather be not living, or boring, or not very exciting. And girls read this book and they go, "Oh my God, I want my Mr. Grey," or whatever. I thought this movie was going to be like atrocious, unwatchable. But I actually was very surprised. The movie is not... I thought this girl was going to meet this guy, and it was just going to be like, take me to the bedroom, and like whip me up and down, tie me up, put an apple in my mouth. I thought it was just going to be... She was just like going to just go crazy and just like come all over the walls, like just like crazy everywhere, and she'd be like in heaven. That is so not what happens in the movie. Like, she's actually the character of Anastasia Steele. What a nice book name, Anastasia Steele. Look, in my opinion, I don't understand what all these bad reviews are about. Like, the story between her and Gray is very, very complex. And I mean, some of you are probably laughing at this because you've watched the movie and you think it's horrible. I'm genuinely confused. I don't understand. Like, there are plenty of scenes where we learn about Anastasia's, like, boundaries, what she will and won't do. She's a virgin, which, by the way, is completely ridiculous. It's like a girl that looks like that at the age of, like, 25 is a virgin. It's not even for religious reasons. She's just so shy or whatever, she's a virgin. I can't even believe on any planet that girl would not be getting attention from, like, 8th grade on from every guy that sees her. But besides that ridiculous, point, I guess, the characters, like Gray obviously he's fucked up. He's 50 Shades fucked up from the movie. Obviously this guy has fucking problems. And intimacy issues, obviously. But, this dude, like, his character evolves in the movie. Like, the story is just about as much of him changing and learning how to be normal as it is Anastasia learning how to come out of her shell. You know, because she's a hermit crab, apparently. But, I don't understand, like, what's all the talk about there's no plot, like, blah, blah. I mean, like, the whole entire movie, is the interaction between these two people. Like, we don't need a big plot. Like, it's a character story. It's a character story, driven story. Like, it's not a plot driven, it's not fucking Tomb Raider. And the characters definitely progress and change and evolve throughout the story, throughout the movie. I thought it was really good. Like, I mean, the movie as a whole isn't a great movie, but, like, it's not, I don't think it's meant to be. I mean, well, we'll get into that in a minute. But, the actual story between Anastasia and Gray, I thought was really good. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so those are all my pros, right? The cons, look, some of the dialogue was just so bad. I didn't think the whole movie had horrible dialogue, right? Like, at all. But some of the stuff was pretty bad. Like, 50 Shades of fucked up. I saw a video on YouTube that featured some of the dialogue from the book, and it is atrocious. Like, I can't even believe lines. Somebody would write these lines and think that they're real. Apparently, like, this book is awful. I mean, I don't even. It just shows you how much girls fantasize about, like, a different life, right? Because from what I understand, the quality of the book is awful. It's just an awful book. But girls want that fantasy so bad that they'll buy millions and millions of girls. I mean, I guess for them, for the most part, it's a female audience. Will buy these books just to escape their regular lives. It's very interesting and kind of sad, I guess. Not sad bad, but it's kind of sad that they're. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, guys aren't buying millions of copies of Being a Superhero or something. I don't know. And also another con, the lead male in the movie, kind of blah for me. I just didn't find him very interesting. I mean, he did a good job. I thought he did a good job in the movie. But, like some guys I watch, and like Leonardo DiCaprio or Bradley Cooper, I think have like a charisma and a sex thing going on. Like, they just on-screen presence just pops. And this guy was kind of like blah. I don't know. I mean, his body was great. You know what I mean? Like, you know, abs everywhere. Handsome. He's handsome. But I thought he was serviceable. I don't know. I'd be curious to hear girls' opinions on if the guy was as interesting to watch as guys think the girl was. You know, but I don't know. The guy didn't do it for me. But that's kind of it. Oh, I did want to read some reviews though. Yeah, that's all I have for cons. I mean, look, people. I mean, I don't know. Like, well, you know what? I'm gonna read some reviews. So I'm on Rotten Tomatoes, and Richard Roper says basically they made a lousy mid-2000s era Katherine Heigl romance with a handful of explicit scenes spliced throughout the familiar cliches. I don't get that at all. The familiar cliches. I don't like. I've seen my share of romantic comedies with Katherine Heigl or Natalie Portman, right? Or Reese Witherspoon, whatever you want. And I don't like. There's always the god awful third act where in a romantic comedy where the couple break up for some fucking really dumb reason and they get back together. I didn't see any of these cliches in here. I didn't think it was a mid-'80s romance with Katherine Heigl. I don't get that at all. Another review says, when you take a close look at 50 Shades of Grey, it becomes painfully clear that it's basically a plethora of sex scenes strung together with a bare minimums of support. See, I don't get that either. I mean, there are so many scenes between Grey and Anastasia that aren't sex scenes, and them talking about their lives, how they grew up, why they are the way they are, what they want from each other. I mean, like, that's the whole entire movie. Besides sex scenes, almost the whole movie is Grey and Anastasia building a relationship and learning about each other's boundaries, and Mr. Grey becoming more vulnerable and opening up and falling in love with Anastasia. Like, okay, so there's another review that I don't understand at all. If they added foreboding opening and closing monologues with David Duchovny, the whole thing could easily be mistaken for a long episode of Red Shoe Diaries. That's might be possible. I've never seen Red Shoe Diaries, but I mean, yeah, I mean, like a late night movie on HBO or something. Yeah, I see that. Johnson brings some wonderful invulnerability to a part, but even with a listenable soundtrack, the song that most comes to mind is Peggy Lee, Is That All There Is? Like, what do you want? It's a movie, it's a sex movie about two people who are in love and about a guy with fucking a bondage fetish. Like, what do you want? Like, this is what drives me crazy about people who review movies. Like, is that all there is? What the fuck were you expecting? It's like going to see Expendables 3 and saying, is that all there is action? Like, I can't stand people who review movies that compare every movie to every movie. This isn't Dancing with Wolves or Braveheart. Mal Vincent from The Virginian Pilot. Like, yeah, that's all there is, Einstein. Yeah, it's a very simple love story between two people, you fucking idiot. And there's some positive reviews. Another guy, who would have thought a Twilight ripoff actually being inferior to its already inferior inspiration? A Twilight ripoff. A Twilight ripoff. You have a movie about vampires and a guy about bondage. Like, I don't even know how these people have a job reviewing movies. A Twilight ripoff. Why? Because it's targeted towards females? Is that why, Einstein? Blake Howard from 2UE, that movie show? Yeah, it's a Twilight ripoff. Yeah, just like Die Hard is a ripoff of Lethal Weapon, right? Because they're both action movies. You fucking genius. Okay, well, I can't even stand to look at any more of these fucking idiots on the internet. So, look. The movie is what it is. It's based on a trashy romance novel. I took it for what it was. I wasn't expecting, like I said, I was expecting the worst movie I've ever seen. I've seen plenty worse movies than this. Like hundreds. No problem whatsoever. I think some of the most mainstream movies, even I saw one with Robert De Niro where he plays like some mafia neighbor, came out last year. I thought that was 10 times worse than 50 Shades of Grey. So, hey, I thought I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed my time with the movie. I give it a thumbs up. For me, it was a light, like one of those like Cinemax After Dark movies, with a better plot and better acting, pretty much. But I don't know. I mean, I also enjoyed watching Dakota Fanning. I just enjoyed watching her, honestly, for 2 hours. So that's my take on the movie. Leave your thoughts below. This was a very long video. Holy moly. I don't know. You know, whenever I review movies, I like to keep within context of what I'm reviewing. If I'm reviewing Friday the 13th Part 100, I'm going to look at it that way and review it that way. And I reviewed... One sec, baby. And I reviewed this movie the same way. I gave it a fair shot, and I thought it was entertaining. So, check out killerreviews.com. We never feature movies like this on the website. But, check out killerreviews.com and the Killer Reviews podcast. And I'm at Twitter at killerreviews. So, thanks for watching, and make sure you comment and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Have a good day. Bye.